Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. We are going to be diving into your summer of 2023, what it is that you need to know, and how to make the most of the energies that are going to be coming up for anyone with major Gemini placements throughout the summer of 2023. So we're going to be diving into that. I do recommend with these readings that you are taking a peek at your sun, your moon, and your rising and watching all three of those videos, because that is going to give you a better, more personalized reading in terms of what to expect throughout your summer of 2023. I also like to make sure that I highlight the fact that this is a general reading, so not all messages are going to resonate with you. Connect with what makes sense for you, what you intuitively connect with, and leave the rest for somebody else who needs to hear it. So we're going to be diving into these cards. I have already pulled them. I'm a little bit of a slow shuffler, so I like to dive right in and get those set before I even hit that record button. We're going to take a look at the theme cards that I pulled for that time period. What we're looking at is the time period in between June 21st, which is that summer solstice, into the fall equinox, which would fall on, I believe, September 20th this year. So the first card that we have here is the dragonfly card, and it is the emergence card, right? We see you very much emerging. We see you very much coming up and out of a time period that feels more challenging, that feels maybe cloudy. I'm kind of seeing her, you can see she's rising out of the water, right? So maybe it has felt in some ways like unclear, and maybe the way that you would see things differently under the water versus above the water, if that makes any sense, right? Where she's emerging, she's coming out of this water, but there's this emergence for you. And I really see this as a progression throughout the next several months. So what I mean by that is you start out this summer with a bit of a heavier energy, a bit of an energy where you're taking a look at things and you're making some changes for yourself. And so I definitely see, as the summer progresses, I think that you're going to find yourself rising, transforming. For me, dragonfly energy is very connected with a transformation. And so it is this, a bit of this phoenix rising from the ashes energy is my sense of that as well. So definitely see some changes coming in for you, and really these feel so much like changes for the better. The next card that we have here is the new moon card, or the promise card. And when I pulled this card, what became very clear to me, what popped into my head was just this concept of how when we have a full moon, the full moon is all about clearing and release, right? And so when we are brave enough, when we can connect with our strength enough in order to let go of anything that no longer serves us, even if that feels comfortable or that's within our comfort zone, or we're a little afraid to let that go, or maybe a lot of afraid to let that go, if we are brave enough to let that go, we're creating that space. And with that space, 2 weeks later comes the new moon, and the new moon brings with it the promise of the manifestation of all of the things that you're calling into your experience. But the thing is, it's difficult for us to manifest things. It's difficult for us to create new things in our lives if we haven't made any kind of room for that to come in. So definitely I see you starting out the summer with making room. That might be releasing thoughts from your mind. It might be releasing connections in your life. It might be actually just letting go of stuff, clearing out stuff in order to make more space within your home or within your office or whatever that looks like for you. But there's definitely a call to have enough faith, connect with your strength enough to release the things that your soul is calling for you to release. And with that, we have this promise to deliver in divine timing all of the things that you are wanting to call into your experience. So I think that this is a very exciting energy that you're moving into. We're going to start out here with that first month of summer. I've divided this into a couple of cards each month so that we're taking a look at those individually. So the first month that we're looking at is about the dates of June 21st into about July 20th. And so the first cards that we have here just really suggest to me a change change in perspective, we have that Queen of Air or Queen of Swords clarified by the Hanged Man in reverse, right? There's something that you are seeing clearly, or maybe you're seeing a lot of things in your life clearly, and that Queen of Swords comes in and she cuts out of her life anything that needs to go, anything that no longer aligns for you, including anything that she is doing, that she's recognizing, maybe seeing from a new light with this Hanged Man in reverse, that she is recognizing no longer serves her, isn't helpful to her, isn't going to get her to the places that she wants to go. And so she recognizes that, and she's able to, without getting caught up in emotion, without getting caught up in fear, let go of whatever it is that needs to be released. So allow this beautiful clarity to come into your life here at the beginning of summer, and allow that to bring you into a place where you're willing to let go. I think that you might find that you're feeling a little stronger to let go of some things. I also see you doing sort of a thought assessment during this time period, where you're taking a look at the way that you're perceiving things, the way that you're thinking about things, and asking yourself, how might I do better with this? How might I see this from another perspective? Or how might I improve the way that I'm thinking about things, perceiving things, speaking about things? How might I do better with that? Because our thoughts and the way that we communicate, the things that we speak, we actually speak into existence, right? So we are creating from thoughts and language. So we want to make sure that we're aware of the way that we speak, the way that we communicate here in this world, and that we're not doing too much, for example, complaining about things, venting about things. There's always room for that. There's therapeutic value in that. But I think that if we spend too much time doing that, we are creating from that energy. So we're actually creating more of the same things. And if we're complaining about it, it's stuff that we don't want, right? So we're creating more stuff that we don't want. And so I see you taking a look at that, and you are encouraged to take a look at that and to create some changes, maybe replace some of those thoughts with something better, or start to speak about something in a more positive way as those things are going really well. One of my favorite affirmations is one that Esther Hicks has put on her recordings, and that's, everything is always working out for me. That would be a really great one to challenge any worries that are coming in, to challenge any time that you catch yourself thinking about something in a negative way or speaking about something in a negative way. When I first started my business, I would speak about it as though it was already fantastic, as though it was already going really well. So whenever anybody would ask me about it, I would say, oh yeah, that's going great. It's building really quickly. And I would speak about it in such a way that I wanted to, in exactly what I was wanting. And so it wasn't quite there yet, but pretty quickly I was able to develop that because, in my opinion, of the way that I spoke about that and the way that I acted as if my business was already more successful than it already was. So I see you doing that, and we see you here moving away from something, okay? So some of that clarity here is leading you into this Six of Swords energy, and this is clarified by the Ace of Cups. So you're moving away from something that has been challenging, and I feel like this is something maybe that's been around for quite some time, that has been sort of a thorn in your side for quite some time, but maybe in some ways, like, you have justified for a very long time allowing this or these things to exist in your life. And I see you really challenging yourself with this month, clearing that away and being willing to move into a different time in your life, to be willing to move into something else. Or maybe you're even just actually moving, right? You're moving away from one thing and you're moving into something better. And what you're moving into is this Ace of Cups, right? This can be a new relationship, a new connection, something very heart-centered typically with the Ace of Cups. Maybe you're moving in the direction of more self-love or taking better care of yourself, or just really feeling compelled to focus on how might I live a life that feels more fulfilling. You're moving in the direction of your fulfillment and surrounding yourself with the people, places, and things that will be fulfilling for you. Let's take a look at this middle row. The middle row representing around July 21st into around August 20th. So here's the direction that you're heading in. If you were looking for a new relationship. If you are single and looking, beautiful, beautiful energy, right? Because you're creating. Now, this might not be coming in for you here in the summer, although I definitely think that that's possible for you. But if it's not coming in for you and that is something that you're looking for, I see you laying the foundation of that, right? Because here we have the 10 of Cups, and this is clarified by the Judgment. This is a pretty, I'm almost knocked back by the energy of this as I connect with this, because it's very, very powerful, right? This is you choosing yourself. This is you choosing your happiness, choosing your fulfillment, choosing to live your life in a way that is truly fulfilling. And I'm hearing the word freedom, right? A life that feels more free, a life that feels content and rewarding, and being surrounded, again, by the people, places, and things that do fulfill you. And I see you deciding that. This Judgment card is a major decision to head in that direction. And so I see you making what may feel like, in some ways, some difficult decisions. I'll be honest with you. It might feel difficult, but I think the only reason that feels difficult is because you're moving out of a comfort zone, or you're moving out of a way that you have been doing things for quite some time, finally recognizing that it's just not working. It's time to be happy. I almost see you saying that out loud. It's time for me to be happy. It's time for me to feel more fulfilled. And you will be. I really see that coming in for you. And then the next card that we have here during this time period is the Three of Wands, right? So 3 of Fire. This is that energy coming in. This is some things that I feel like maybe you've been waiting on for quite some time, finally manifesting for you, finally happening for you. Things feeling abundant, things feeling really good, right? And it might be, I get kind of the energy here this summer of like you just seeing the beginnings of some things manifesting. So what I mean by that is like you might start to see the evidence of that, or there might be like you might get started on some things, but you might not have everything that you're trying to manifest right away here in the summer. But I definitely think that by the end of summer, this is going to feel like we have laid a more solid foundation underneath all of this, right? So I think that you're going to start to see how magical this world really is and how supported you are, especially when you're willing to take those leaps of faith, when you're willing to go after the things that you know are going to make you happy. And speaking of that, with this Devil in reverse, we see you, like this is coming on the other side of you being willing to unhook yourself. Remember, I use that word freedom, and the Devil is all about freedom. It's all about unchaining yourself from something that you felt stuck in, you felt chained to for quite some time, but you weren't sure for a very long time, or you were too afraid for a very long time to set yourself free. And suddenly I think that you're going to find the resources, the strength, the courage to be able to do that. This is also that message of, have faith in yourself enough to do this. So if you're right on that fence of, do I make this change? Can I do this? This is very much a message that you can, and not only can you, but on the other side of it are all of the things that you're wanting to call in that I feel like you've been waiting on for quite some time, been feeling really blocked with for quite some time. And this is really the key to unlock that. So the next row is representing around August 21st into around September 20th. So we see here, it's like things start to move forward and then we see a little bit of a slowdown, but there's very much a message here with this 7 of Pentacles and the Fool card to not freak out, right? Don't be worried about this. There is slow and steady progress that's happening. So I think that you're going to see slow and steady, but this entire reading, none of it is like a rapid moving energy. It is slow, it's steady, but it's consistent and it's stable, right? So if you find yourself getting frustrated, like why isn't this happening more quickly? Why isn't this developing? I want you to take a look at and just even compare to where you were at 2 months ago, because I think that you'll find that there's been a lot of growth, a lot of development over that time period, but we are with ourselves every day. And so sometimes we can forget that how much progress has already happened for us, or how much progress we have made. Maybe the thing that you're working on is yourself and you're doubting your progress, doubting the work that you've done. But I think that if you take that step back and recognize that, you will realize that. We see here also with this Fool card that you are leaning into a leap of faith. You are leaning into a new beginning, a new journey. So in that month before, I think that there's a lot of processing that. I think that there's a lot of exploring what that's going to look like and where you want to go. And we see here with this Fool, you really leaning into this leap of faith, this new journey, this new beginning, and starting to catch your stride is what I'm hearing in my head in terms of forward movement with this. But again, slow and steady, right? But very consistent. So no need to worry here. The last cards that we have here, I pulled the Two of Pentacles and clarified that with the Three of Swords. So I pulled another clarifying card, just wanting to understand the message a little bit, and then we got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles. Again, I think that there is going to be here in this month a little bit of a concern, a little bit of a freak out. Maybe money isn't flowing just yet in the way that you want it to, or something is feeling like a little out of balance. And I think in some ways part of why you feel imbalanced is you have started a new journey. You have moved forward with some things. And sometimes when we do that, there's that adjustment that's needed. There's that freak out that comes on the other side of making a leap of faith. And that's very much this energy that I'm feeling. And so this is saying, be careful to not get too caught up in the emotion of this. Yes, feel your emotions. Whenever we make a change, there is an adjustment that we go through, and we do need to allow ourselves to just feel the feelings that we're feeling. But we don't want to stay completely focused on that. Instead, what we want to do is to just, this Queen of Pentacles to me is like, keep your eye on the prize, right? Keep going, keep focusing on creating stability for yourself, focusing on taking those steps that you need to take, getting done what needs to be done in order to create whatever it is that you're needing, whatever that stability is that you're needing, whether you're needing to work on finances and kind of just get some things taken care of so that moving forward, that's going to feel better and there's going to be more success with it. So again, I want you to think about foundationally, what do I need to do? Or maybe you did move, and you're needing to focus on getting your home set up, getting things in order. There very much is like a focus on the home or the space around you, or how you're spending and investing your time, your energy, your money. So I see you kind of taking a look at all of that and just being very practical in terms of determining what's going to work for you and how you can set yourself up for success. And so if you're spending a ton of time focused on the emotion of that, you're not going to get done the things that you need to get done. So finding a balance there with that, where you're allowing time for emotion, but also getting things set, because I feel like as we're moving into the fall, that is going to be faster movement for you, and you're going to be feeling like you're really thanking yourself for all of this work, all of these things that you worked on throughout the summer. So those are your messages for Gemini for the summer of 2023. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I always appreciate the support. It helps us support the channel, and it's a really nice way to not only exchange energy with me, but also to connect your energy with my readings so that they're going to be more accurate, more connected for you as we do readings in the future. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon with another video. Take care.